More information about tonight's special lineup and what to expect at this exciting event.
And over at UCLA's campus, the Bear is caged to protect it against Cardinal and Gold. I'm Chris Cheshire.
And I'm Genevieve Glass. See It Live Rivalry Week starts now.
Tonight on See It Live, it's Conquest. A historic rivalry, the Crosstown Showdown, the battle for the heart of LA. It's been 90 years since both teams first took to the turf. For even longer, they've been engaged in a contest of athletics and academics. On Saturday, they face off in the Coliseum. USC tries to recover the victory belt after they fell to the Bruins at the Rose Bowl last year. UCLA defends it. In this, both schools' chance to prove who really runs LA.
The Crosstown rivalry between USC and UCLA heats up tonight with Conquest. But for the second year in a row, we will not burn the Bear.
Reporter Kelly Miller is live at Conquest in McCarthy Quad. Kelly, what's in store tonight?
Conquest is heating up. This place is crazy, but it's a lot of fun too. It began around 5 p.m. this evening, and now there's probably about 500 people here. Behind me, there's an amazing Ferris wheel, lots of lights, also lots of food trucks, and there's a big, beautiful stage just right across there. I'm sure you can hear the music a little bit. Now, speaking of that stage, pretty soon, in just a few hours, a well-known Los Angeles rapper, Saweetie, I'm sure you've heard of her before, and even better, she's a USC alumna at the Annenberg School of Communication. Here's a deeper look at her story and her greatest impact on USC.
10 white toes and them toy flip-flops. Manicures and pedicures, I'm always tip-top when they say I'm...
This is rapper Diamante Harper, also known as Saweetie, a nickname that her grandmother gave her as a child. After graduating from the Annenberg School for Communication in 2016, Saweetie quickly rose to fame in the rap music industry. Saweetie has not forgotten about her days as a Trojan. She's made quite a few appearances on campus in the past year.
I love coming back and just, talking to the Black Student Union because it's important for me to share my story so that they can learn from what I've learned from and hopefully get insight to help them with their journey.
It's clear that Saweetie's appearances have and continue to make a difference on USC's campus.
I think she has a very positive impact on campus, especially within the Black community, because last year she came to one of the BSA meetings and just kicked it with us and talked to us.
It's not just students who notice Saweetie's love for music and drive to succeed.
What I saw in her was that her passion and her drive to get into the music industry, specifically as a performer, and the mind of an artist is very similar to a mind of an entrepreneur, and that is that they can see a landscape and paint that portrait and see when no one else does.
Organizers of Conquest are gearing up for an exciting show.
She was here a couple weeks ago, tailgating during homecoming with Quavo and some of her friends, so that was super fun. Already got a lot of attention on campus, which made people really excited, so we think it's a perfect fit to have her come back for this Spirit alumni-focused event.
Sweeties, tonight's lineup will include a variety of performances. First, the USC Song Girls, Spirit Leaders, the Trojan Marching Band, and other student performers. The Trojan USC football team will also be making an appearance. So come on over, bring your USC student ID. You can bring one guest and make it before the food runs out because it looks delicious. For Annenberg Media, I'm Kelly Miller. Back to you.
And Conquest 2019 is just warming up. If you're heading over, bring a student ID. Tonight, Senior Cecil Hannibal and Junior Christian Email will be co-hosting Conquest. Both are thrilled to have this opportunity.
It's a real privilege to be at USC. And I remember back in high school when I was setting my aspirations, for me it was more of, I just want to go to USC. I didn't really foreshadow or forecast what I would do once I got here. But for me to not only be here, but also have an opportunity like this to be up in front of my peers and even people that don't know me, but to be in front of Trojan Nation and to represent at this level is really heartwarming.
It is your second year hosting Conquest. So I know you're super pumped about that, and you brought Cecil along with you.
He's the GOAT. I mean,
he is
that's what it is.
He's the GOAT. And you are a GOAT here at Annenberg.
He's
so
the GOAT.
Can you talk a little bit about like the process, your preparation going into this?
Yeah, so my biggest thing is energy, and I know we've talked about it before, but I am absolutely pumped to have this opportunity, and it's going to be really great energy out there tonight. And I know a lot of kids are out there excited to see the opener, excited to see Sweetie. Right now we're in the midst of midterm season. It's about to be finals. People are about to go home. This is a really cool way to just break out of classes, to put homework down, to drop stress, and to really just jump, pump your fists, have a great time.
What about Sweetie? Are you super excited to see her? USC alum?
Yeah. It's a full circle moment. I've actually never been able to see Sweetie perform before at like any other concerts or at Rolling Loud, but I do know that she came for homecoming. Unfortunately, I was not able to see her then, but I was very excited to hear the news that she's coming to perform at Conquest, so I could finally see what all the hype is about, and I'm looking forward to being pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and she seemed to just jump right in, you know, as the replacement. She had no hesitation, it seemed like.
That's the
Trojan family.
Yeah, Trojan family.
Trojan
you know?
fam.
I think it's beautiful because it's like you said, it's full circle. It's like she just graduated from here. You know what?
2016.
2016.
I think, yeah.
And now she's back headlining Conquest, which I'm sure she came to Conquest as an undergrad, and now she's the main performer. So I mean, it's beautiful, and I really think USC is going to come out and show love tonight.
At UCLA, students are revving up for the big game. Annenberg Media's Chase Beach went into enemy territory to see how the Bruins are getting ready.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, UCLA! UCLA, fight, fight, fight!
UCLA students were getting their fight song ready today in preparation for the hotly anticipated USC versus UCLA football game this Saturday. UCLA's mascot is the bronze Bruin bear, which sits in the middle of campus. Right now, it's protected by a black box.
Here at UCLA, just like at USC, students take their mascots extremely seriously. Behind me, you would typically see a big bronze statue of Joe, the Bruin bear. However, he's currently covered up by this big black box, which has chalk writing written all over it, in order to protect Joe during the USC-UCLA rivalry week.
Bruin bear's covered because USC messes with it, and we don't want it to be messed with.
We cover the Bruin bear because of USC and what has happened in the past with vandalism.
Last year, USC students managed to break into the Bruin box and spray paint the bear. The Bruins were not impressed.
It just kind of added fire to the rivalry and made it a little bit more like real for the game day week, which I think was cool, but obviously everybody was kind of disappointed and like not too stoked that our statue was handled like that.
But this year, there might be a bit more unity. For the first time ever, both schools' papers, the Daily Bruin and Daily Trojan, are partnering in honor of the big game.
So we are having a collaborative rivalry issue come out. It's going to be one side is Daily Trojan, one side is Daily Bruin, and it'll be coming out at both campuses. I think that despite the rivalry, that's something that's like really important, is giving this really holistic picture of here's what the athletes at both of these schools are doing, and both of our schools are kind of recognizing that.
And that's true school spirit on both sides. For Annenberg Media, I'm Chase Beach.
Kickoff for the 89th rivalry football game is this Saturday at 12:30 p.m. In a stunning upset last year, UCLA defeated USC at the Rose Bowl. And just in case you tried to block it out of your memory, here's a brief recap of the loss. For the Trojans, quarterback JT Daniels threw for 337 yards with 2 interceptions that all but decided the game. For the Bruins, Josh Kelly rushed for 289 yards and posted 2 touchdowns of his own. The Trojans fell 34-27, dropping their 5th game of the final 6th of the season. The Crosstown rivalry dates back to 1929 when USC destroyed UCLA 76-0. The following year, USC slowed down a bit and only won 52-0. In 1967, the Bruins were ranked #1 in the country and the Trojans were #4. This led to an absolute showdown between USC's running back O.J. Simpson and the Bruins quarterback Gary Babane. USC got the win and went on to win the 1967 national championship. Now, coming off of this year's loss to UCLA, the Trojans are reaching for redemption this Saturday. Head coach Clay Helton talked earlier this week about the importance of this weekend's matchup.
We know how important this game is to both fan bases, to our community, how important the victory bell is in that history. It's a special game, and we look forward to it each and every year. This is a game that you get those bragging rights. We got an opportunity to really finish strong down the stretch here and earn and try to go on another victory.
With us tonight is Annenberg Media Sports Director Sam Arslanian. Sam, thanks for being with us tonight.
Always happy to be here, man.
So how important is it for the Trojans to come out and redeem themselves this weekend?
This is a really huge game for USC. I mean, you look at last year, they finished the last 6 games of the season with a 1-5 record, and their only win coming against Oregon State, not necessarily a top 10 team. This year, they're ending the season, if they beat UCLA, 5-1. Huge difference, and that one loss coming to Oregon, #6, I can stomach a loss to Oregon, as opposed to a, Colorado or something like that.
Right, you and me both. And so what do you think the Trojans are going to have to do to try to get into the Pac-12 championship?
It's not likely, and realistically it won't. First of all, they don't control their own destiny, so not only do they have to beat UCLA this weekend, Utah has to drop a game, and they're playing Arizona and Colorado in their final 2 games. They're playing Arizona this weekend in Tucson, so that's a little bit more of a hope for USC than Colorado is, but it's very slim, and we're likely not going to see a USC Pac-12 championship this year. It's unfortunate, though.
Very unfortunate. And that's all the time we have for now. Sam, I think we're just going to have to see what happens this weekend. I personally think and hope that we'll be able to redeem ourselves and move on forward throughout the season.
Football games mean tailgates, and tailgates mean alcohol.
Reporter Nicola Wentz tells us more about the #GetConsent campaign.
Alcohol, high energy, and a football game. A combination that statistically leads to an increase in sexual assault cases. The director of USC Relationship and Sexual Violence Prevention and Services, or RSVP, says this is a serious issue.
There was a study that came out last summer, that highlighted that in Division I universities, that on the day of a home game, that sexual assault rates increased by up to 57%.
To raise awareness of possible sexual assault on and off campus, the undergraduate student government is launching its very first Get Consent campaign this Saturday.
The main focus of the #GetConsent campaign is twofold. First off, to raise awareness on campus and off campus, of course, about being a pro-social bystander and about the resources that are available to students, and then educating them on the mandatory aspects of consent.
The campaign partnered with a variety of departments and student organizations at USC, including RSVP.
We really want to bring awareness to students about the party connection with the overconsumption of alcohol, and this atmosphere can increase risk factors for sexual violence.
Here on the Row is where a lot of social events take place, often involving alcohol. Thus, the more reason why members of Greek Life are now focused on raising awareness on the issues of sexual assault.
Well, we're a community of 2,000 women, so getting consent is really important for all of our members. I think we do what we can to minimize sexual assault in any way possible, and to really encourage people to learn about what consent actually means.
The campaign will have volunteers from RSVP on Truesdale Parkway from 1 to 4 tomorrow afternoon, as well as on game day. For Annenberg Media, I'm Nicola Wentz.
And mental health is in the spotlight here at USC after 9 student deaths this semester. At tonight's Conquest, a special booth will provide information about free mental health care. An organization called Rise Above the Disorder says no one should be denied mental health services.
that Rise Above the Disorder provides entirely free mental health services, removes entirely that financial barrier that keeps a lot of people from getting help. If they have any suspicion that they might not be doing well, if they're finding that school is increasingly challenging and that they feel isolated, to just start letting their friends know or reach out to organizations like ours. We're going to be here anytime on campus. We're happy to come down. It's really easy to reach out to us at urrad.org.
Docton faced depression and anxiety, and after he got help, he founded Rise Above the Disorder. He didn't want the high cost of therapy to be a barrier to anybody else.
While everyone is out enjoying conquest, the Hellenes and Trojan Knights are guarding USC's most prized possessions, Hecuba and Tommy Trojan.
So this week is Rivalry Week, which means at the end of the week is the game with UCLA. So we are out here 24/7 protecting Hecuba. Well, we have shifts throughout the night, so there are at least 2 people awake at all times of the night. And basically we're just the first precaution in case we see any Bruins, we scare them away. And it just brings a lot of fun and energy to the campus. I mean, we're out here all night, but we love it. We love every second of being out here. So.
The Hellenes make their camp with all the comforts of home. Tents protect them in case of rain, and the Trojan Knights are just as dedicated.
Our sister organization, the Hellenes, protect Hecuba in the village, and we stay here to protect Tommy. The night shifts work with whoever really wants to be here. There's never really a shortage of people. Most people come and hang out till like 2 in the morning and then go home or sleep here. Hail, rain, sun or shine, we're here.
The protectors of Hecuba and Tommy Trojan will stand watch until the threat of UCLA pranks is over. And now, Genevieve, I heard a disturbing rumor. I heard that you've never been to a USC-UCLA game.
Chris, it's so funny. I've heard a rumor about you too. I heard you are having quite the rager this Saturday, quite the tailgate, and I never received my invite.
You were invited. Don't get into this right now. It's not great. Come on.
We'll leave that here. Thank you for watching See It Live from everybody here at Annenberg Media. I'm Genevieve Glass.
And I'm Chris Cheshire. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Fight on.